3 weeks ago, I wiped Windows 11 off my main machine completely and replaced it with Linux. Not a dual boot, not a test on a spare laptop. My primary computer, the one I use for everything, running Linux full-time with no Windows safety net available. And the difference between what my machine was doing under Windows and what it does now under Linux is so dramatic, so immediately visible, and so impossible to explain away as placebo effect or enthusiasm bias that I have spent the last week trying to find the most honest and specific way to describe it to you. This is not a video about Linux being perfect. It is a video about what I discovered when I actually lived on the other side of the comparison that most people only read about without experiencing directly. The installation was the first surprise. I downloaded Linux Mint, wrote it to a USB drive using a free tool called Balena Etcher, booted from the USB, and worked through a visual installation wizard that asked me straightforward questions in plain language. Language, keyboard layout, time zone, username, password. No Microsoft account required. No prompts to enable Cloud Sync. No suggestions to try a subscription service. No screens designed to steer me toward decisions that benefit the operating system vendor rather than me. The entire installation from booting the USB to sitting at a working desktop took 19 minutes. 19 minutes to have a fully functional operating system, running on my hardware with my monitors at the correct resolution, my wireless network connected, and my external drive mounted automatically when I plugged it in. The first number that stopped me was the idle RAM consumption. On Windows 11, with my standard configuration, before I opened a single application of my own, the task manager showed between 3.9 and 4.6 gigabytes of RAM consumed by the operating system and its background processes. Windows update preparation processes. Telemetry services transmitting behavioral data to Microsoft on a schedule I did not set. Copilot infrastructure maintaining cloud connections. Xbox service processes running whether I use Xbox or not. Advertising ID tracking systems running, whether I engage with any advertising feature or not. All of it running before I had done a single thing I came to the computer to do. On Linux Mint, sitting at an idle desktop with no user applications, Open the same machine uses 1.1 gigabytes of RAM. Not 1.1 gigabytes less than Windows. 1.1 gigabytes total. The difference is 2.8 to 3.5 gigabytes of memory that is now available for my actual work instead of being consumed by an operating system running its own commercial agenda in parallel with whatever I came to the computer to accomplish. On a machine with 8 gigabytes of RAM, that difference is not theoretical. It is the concrete difference between having adequate memory headroom for real multitasking workloads and spending the entire day in a resource-constrained environment where every additional browser tab or open document is competing with processes that exist to benefit Microsoft rather than you. Boot time was the second number. Windows 11 on this machine took between 46 and 54 seconds from pressing the power button to having a desktop where applications would actually open at normal speed rather than queuing behind the tail end of startup processes still completing in the background. Linux Mint boots in 11 to 13 seconds consistently. Every single morning for 3 weeks, the machine has been ready before I finished pulling my chair in. This sounds like a small convenience, and it compounds into something meaningful when you experience it daily rather than reading about it as a statistic. Day 3. I ran network monitoring using Wireshark during a 30-minute idle session on both systems to compare what each operating system was transmitting without any input from me. On Windows 11, the idle monitoring session captured 43 distinct external connection events to Microsoft-operated infrastructure, advertising adjacent servers, and AI service endpoints. Telemetry, Copilot context gathering, advertising ID updates, activity history synchronization, update preparation, downloading content I had not requested. All of it flowing out of my machine continuously during a period when I was not using the computer for anything. On Linux Mint, the equivalent 30-minute idle monitoring session captured 4 external connections. 1 update check when I had opened the update manager. 3 times synchronization requests. The contrast between 43 and 4 is not a marginal difference in data practices. It is the difference between an operating system running for you and an operating system running for its manufacturer simultaneously. The performance difference in real applications was the part I had expected to be smallest because I had read enough comparisons to know that application launch times in isolation do not tell the full story. What I did not expect was how consistent and cumulative the improvement would feel across a full working day, rather than only in isolated benchmark moments. I timed application launches across my daily workflow on both systems, across multiple sessions. Chrome, with my standard extension set, launched in 2.0 seconds on Linux versus 3.6 seconds on Windows. My writing application launched in 1.2 seconds versus 2.4 seconds. My spreadsheet software launched in 1.5 seconds versus 2.8 seconds. These improvements are not because Linux is inherently faster at running these applications. They are because Linux is launching these applications into a system where 2.8 Additional gigabytes of RAM are available rather than committed to background processes, producing consistently faster load times across everything I run throughout the entire day. Battery life on my laptop was the measurement that produced the most visible reaction when I shared it with people following this experiment. On Windows 11, under my standard mixed workload of writing, browser use across multiple tabs, and video calls, my laptop delivered. Between 5.1 and 5.8 hours per charge consistently across multiple measurement sessions. On Linux Mint, under equivalent workload conditions, the same machine delivers between 7.2 and 8.4 hours. That improvement comes directly from the reduction in continuous background processing that no longer demands CPU cycles and therefore no longer draws the power that would drain the battery. The AI inference operations, the telemetry transmission, the continuous context gathering for Copilot features I never used were collectively consuming enough power to cost me between 2 and 3 hours of battery life every single day. 2 to 3 hours that are now available because the processes consuming them are simply not running. The software question is the one I prepared most carefully for before making the switch, because it is the most legitimate practical concern for anyone considering this transition. I made an honest inventory of every application in my daily workflow before installing Linux, and researched each one specifically. Chrome has a native Linux version that installed from the Linux Mint Software Center in under 3 minutes and immediately synced all my bookmarks, extensions, and saved passwords through my Google account. Zoom has a native Linux version that worked on my first test video call without any configuration. Spotify has a native Linux version. Discord has a native Linux version. Visual Studio Code has a native Linux version. For the Microsoft Office documents I occasionally receive, LibreOffice handled every one I tested during 3 weeks of real use without any formatting problems that affected actual document usability. For everything I do daily, the application availability story was dramatically better than I had expected based on Linux's historical reputation. The one genuine gap I encountered was a specialized industry application I use approximately twice a month that has no Linux version and no viable alternative. I handled those 2 sessions on a secondary machine. For 95% of my working time across 3 weeks, this gap was completely irrelevant to my daily computing experience. Whether that gap matters for your specific situation depends entirely on your specific application dependencies, and only honest self-assessment of your own workflow can answer that question accurately. The privacy dimension of the comparison is the one that has stayed with me most persistently beyond the performance numbers, and it is the one that is hardest to describe in measurable terms because it is partly experiential. Using Linux Mint feels like using a tool that belongs to me. The operating system does what I tell it to do and waits quietly when I'm not giving it instructions. It does not suggest Microsoft services. It does not promote subscription products. It does not display recommended applications I did not ask for. It does not reset settings I configured. It does not install changes to my system on a schedule controlled by a corporation whose financial incentives are not aligned with mine. The desktop I configured on day 1 is the desktop I have today, unchanged by any background process operating on someone else's agenda. This feeling has a structural explanation rather than being merely subjective. Linux Mint has no advertising business model. It has no cloud services subscription to upsell. It has no AI product requiring behavioral data from its users to train. The operating system exists to serve the computing needs of the people running it and nothing else, because the organizational structure behind it has no commercial reason to embed surveillance or promotional infrastructure into the environment it provides. This structural alignment between the operating system's incentives and the user's interests produces a computing experience that feels fundamentally different from one where those incentives diverge, and the difference is immediately perceptible once you have experienced both sides of it. The update experience deserves specific mention because it was one of the most consistently frustrating aspects of Windows that I had normalized so completely. I had stopped consciously registering it as a frustration. On Windows updates installed automatically on Microsoft's schedule, reset settings I had configured, changed interface behaviors I depended on, and in several documented cases across the past 2 years, caused hardware incompatibilities that required significant troubleshooting time to resolve. On Linux, Mint updates appear in the Update Manager when they are available. I click Install when I choose to. I can read exactly what each update contains before applying it. No setting I have configured has been reset by any update across 3 weeks of use. No interface behavior I relied on has been changed without my involvement. The relationship between me and my system's update process is one where I retain meaningful control rather than one where I absorb the consequences of changes made by someone else on a schedule I cannot meaningfully influence. If you're considering this switch, the practical starting point requires no commitment at all. Download Linux Mint from the official Linux Mint website at no cost. Write it to a USB drive using Balena Etcher, which is also free. Boot your computer from the USB drive and spend an afternoon using Linux Mint as a live session without installing anything or changing a single file on your hard drive. Your Windows installation sits completely untouched throughout the entire experience. You are test driving with zero risk and zero cost. What you find during that afternoon will tell you more about whether Linux fits your specific situation than any amount of reading about it, including this script. The performance difference will be visible even in the live session. The interface will be navigable within minutes. The application availability for your specific needs will become immediately clear. And the experience of using an operating system that is running entirely for you, with nothing else on its agenda, will be something you either immediately recognize as what you have been missing, or immediately recognize as not worth the transition cost for your specific requirements. Either conclusion reached from direct experience is more valuable than any conclusion reached from secondhand accounts. Subscribe for the specific follow-up coverage of every application in my daily Linux workflow, the gaming setup in detail, and what 3 months on Linux adds to everything the first 3 weeks revealed.